contact, that tells the pace is quite strong and putting a lot of riders in difficulty.
Amel Moinard, the latest to drop off the back, the BMC rider. A few of you asking on Twitter, where is Wiggo? Well, Brad Wiggins in the Gruppetto since it was formed very, very early on today. He's been on the back since the early part of our television coverage. For Sky, if you're wondering, it's Roach, it's Thomas, it's Porte. You've got Fabio Aru, second wheel there on the blue jersey. Jakob Fuglsang there. And the rider with his jersey open, it is Simon Spilak. We're hearing that Simon Yates, who has been dropped as well. Ricardo Zeudel, the Austrian champion distance. Andrew Talansky struggling as well, as was Wilco Keldum at the back of that group. Nicholas Roach doing some serious damage here with 3Ks to go. And the group reducing, and reducing. There is Zeudel at the back. There is Talansky, both fighting desperately to try and stay in touch with this group. And here goes Geraint Thomas. Geraint Thomas to attack. It's going to be Simon Spilak alongside Jakob Fuglsang to try and chase this one down now. We wondered when the action would come, and this, Sean, is the first real attack towards the latter part of this climb.
Yes, this is going to put a lot of riders in difficulty, because that sudden acceleration, open pace, it's going to put a lot of riders in difficulty. Roach was doing a very good job. Geraint Thomas, we can see here, putting in a real strong move.
And he can thank Nicholas Roach for the work he's done. Roach's reward will be to ride in and listen to race radio to see what the result of that attack is. So Fuglsang takes it up at the front. Fuglsang, the Danish rider for Astana, looking very, very strong at the front. Rikosh's been up there. We've seen Spilak come back, and now time to respond. Time to respond in Movistar colours. Difficult to see exactly which ride it was. Was that Fernandez? It is Ruben Fernandez. Ruben Fernandez. Ruben Fernandez then counter-attacking. It's Fuglsang, Thomas, Spilak, who's just about to try and put that little elephant in to get onto the wheel. Response as well from BMC, and it's TJ van Garderen. TJ van Garderen going to on the attack. And if you want to be involved, now is the time to bridge the gap. 2.3 Ks to go. Both Valls and Rui Costa for Lamprimerida in there. And here goes Richie Porte now. Richie Porte wants to be involved too, and he's being followed. He's being followed by Romain Bardet. Romain Bardet for AG2R La Mondiale with 2.2 kilometers to go, alongside Ruben Fernandez trying to counter-attack as well. We've got TJ van Garderen. Oh, and Fernandez is down. Oh, what a silly, silly crash that is. Ruben Fernandez, TJ van Garderen, nobody else around them. Here we go. Look around, look around. Oh, it's his first year on the World Tour. Ruben Fernandez, guilty of not concentrating. TJ van Garderen will be thankful that he managed to stay on his bike, but van Garderen is being caught, and we're down to now just single digits almost of riders who can play this one out. Richie Porte right on the wheel of TJ van Garderen. On his wheel, still sticking in there. This is really good from Michal Kwiatkowski as well, Sean.
Yes, Kwiatkowski is following, didn't panic, but the question is he just a little bit in difficulty and not able to attack? But he did not make any move when those attacks, just following the rest for the moment. But he's the one who can put in a big finish in the final kilometre.
Sylvain Chavanel losing a bit of pace as well. It's Geraint Thomas here. Jakob Fuglsang behind him, the Danish rider in the light blue for Astana, the team from Kazakhstan. Behind, TJ van Garderen on his own in that red and black jersey. 1-2-8 there as we look at this is Tim Wellens. There is Jean-Christophe Perrault. Sounds as though Fabio Aru and Rafa Valls are struggling. Haven't got images of that, but race radio screaming in our ears. And we can see that. It is Geraint Thomas at the front, Jakob Fuglsang behind, Simon Spilak. Well, there's a chance they might be able to put some distance in here. A lot of waiting, a lot of looking around, Sean.
Yes, we can see there there's a little bit of marking, and for the moment. You know, the three out front. 8, maybe 10 seconds of an advantage is Kwiatkowski, who starts to take up the pulling.
He wants the yellow jersey back. Kwiatkowski wants the yellow jersey back. He is just at 1 second from Michael Matthews. Of course, Geraint Thomas is a real danger to the jersey as well. There's not very many at all seconds in this, as we see Gorka Izagirre still in this group. Remember, Ruben Fernandez has hit the deck. It's Michal Kwiatkowski. Michal Kwiatkowski still going in there. Rafa Valls and Rui Costa have managed to hold into that second chasing group. Kwiatkowski trying once and for all to close the gap. Richie Porte is following him. Sky tactically probably the strongest in here. And Fabio Aru has also managed to make that he's worked into this chasing group as well. Rafa Valls, the most advanced of the two riders from Lampre Merida. And here we go. Counter-attack time from Lampre Merida as well. Making sure they're front this chasing group. 1.2 Ks to go. What's going to happen here, Sean? Are they going to hold on, these three?
Well, I think Richie Porte is, feeling strong, but he has Geraint Thomas in front, of course. We can see he's putting in another attack here, but he doesn't want to carry everybody across because, it's a danger one. But now they have a gap with Kwiatkowski in his wheel. Looks like he wants to really go and get this stage.
TJ Van Garderen chasing as they go under the Flamme Rouge. Fabio Aru's held on brilliantly for his first mounted day in the season as well. Spilak is still down. Here goes Richie Porte. This was the plan all the way along, I think. Richie Porte to attack. Does he have what he had on Wollonga Hill at the Tour Down Under? Does he have what he had when he won the Australian Time Trial Championship early in the year? Richie Porte really putting in a dig, and it's his teammate who can follow him here. Richie Porte and Geraint Thomas riding away from the competition on the Croix de Chauboy. This is a wonderful piece of riding from Team Sky, and it's Richie Porte really giving it his all at the minute as they're into the final 500 metres. Thomas on his wheel, Fulsang trying his best to close the gap, but it's such a difficult task with this Porte. Porte is on fire here. Rafa Valls is the second of the two Lampre Merida riders on the road. Number 31 there is Gorka Izagirre, but this is the Australian, this is Porte, and this, Sean, is a magnificent move.
Yes, well, Porte, he came from, a little bit further down, joined that group of Geraint Thomas, and immediately when he got across them, took up the pace. And he's the one who has been doing the riding, but Geraint Thomas also, the two Sky men, really the strongest in this final.
Porte, the Australian Time Trial champion, a winner on Wollonga Hill in the Tour Down Under. Geraint Thomas, the winner of the Tour of the Algarve. Riders trying their best to close that gap. 300 metres to go, but it looks as though they're pulling out, if anything. A look behind from Richie Porte. What do they have here? Certainly one of them's going to take the yellow jersey. One of them is going to take the stage win. Richie Porte riding ahead. Geraint Thomas sticking on his wheel. And Jakob Fulsang doing his best to try and cut down the gap. A counter-attack too from Michal Kwiatkowski, who is the world champion, of course, but it's Richie Porte who's going to ride in here. Richie Porte and Geraint Thomas. Porte up towards the flat section for the final 25 seconds. Porte is there. Thomas on his wheel. Wonderful reception from the crowd at the top. Porte rides over. He takes the win. Thomas second. They both punch the air, and the count back to the world champion begins. 8 seconds to Kwiatkowski, 8 seconds to Fulsang, and Richie Porte wins the stage. 5th place is going to be TJ Van Garderen, again strong in the mountains. Average speed today 38.4 kilometers per hour. Rui Costa rides in. Wellens on his wheel. Aru is there, as is Rafa Valls. Simon Spilak, and at 30 seconds, Romain Bardet.